you're looking for a flow drill that allows you to train Krumphau and Schiel all the way from basics to full tactics, I've got the drill just for you today. All right, we start with you attacking me with Schiels. Schiel, yep. 2, good. Schiel, Schiel. And then I'm going to defend myself with Krumps. Okay. And then at some point, I'm going to try to win by trying to get underneath, Krumping short. And now I'm underneath with Schiels, and he's defending with Krumps. And he can look for an opportunity to start winning by getting underneath. Oh, and I have to Krump. Boom. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so this time, instead of one person just attacking and the other person just defending, we're going to alternate. So he's going to Schiel and attack, and I Krump. So Schiel, 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 Schiel. Okay, and at some point, instead of Krumping, I'm going to try to get underneath. There. Schiel, Schiel. Okay, you're going to attack, I'm going to defend. Over, over, I'm defending over, and I'm trying to get underneath. So watch for the switch with the feet. So notice that very quick double step in order to actually make that happen. Jeff Sai, Forte Swordplay. So the footage you just looked at should give you a pretty good idea of the mechanics of the things we're talking about today. We're going to be focusing on two of the master cuts in the German tradition, Krumphau, or the crooked cut, and Schielhau, or the squinter or squinting cut. And at the end of the day, they are very related to one another in terms of the mechanics, and it's really a lot about sort of interpreting what's a Krump and what's a Schiel, which can definitely get muddy. And we'll have future videos that really kind of tease that stuff apart. But for today, just learning ways to actually work out the mechanics and learning not just how to move the weapon, but also how do you get a tactical advantage against your opponent. So by the end of this, the idea is you will be able to know not only how to use this running off Ablaufen pattern to do both a Krump and a Schiel, but also to understand when you can get the advantage so that you're winning against the other person, or if they're winning, how to stay safe with defense, okay? So here's the big starting point, right? So we're actually going to be attacking, and if we had a blade here, we'd actually be using the short edge, and we're gonna hit and actually hit with the short edge and actually keep our hands high, right? Just like this. And you'll notice I'm using a stick. Part of the reason I'm doing that is to emphasize that even though this certainly is being derived from a sword system, this stuff also works with other systems that have like a long stick, like a Jo in the Japanese system or whatever. Like you can actually apply this beyond just swords. Okay, so here we go. I'm attacking, and ideally I want to be hitting my opponent on the shoulders, right, or the side of the head. So here we go. Trying to be able to do this. So, and again, one step, one cut, one step, one cut. Try not to do stuff like this. You can, but you're just taking more steps. Okay, great. So now if I have Andre do that to me, awesome. Okay, great. So I'm getting hit. And it's also very important for the person on the other side to actually practice getting the hands up when they do that hit, so that when I do my defense, it doesn't also turn into a possible opportunity for him to get hit. He wants to hit me while being safe. Okay, so he's hitting me with the short edge. He's coming over and doing these Schielhaus, right? So he's doing these squinting cuts, what we would call squinting cuts. So now for my defense, I'm gonna Krump him. Here we go, so I'm gonna get on top and push him down, right? So there are certain people who like to do this Krump. You're gonna find this is the reason that I think this is really kind of not optimal, because it is just really easy for Andre to get underneath. But once I start doing this, I take that away, okay? All right, good. Okay, so now the other trick is, okay, well, if I want to stop being on defense, how do I start winning, right? Winning happens when you can see Andre is winning if my Krump is not good enough because he's underneath and hitting me and being covered at the same time, all right? So now if I want to be able to do that, I get under, right? I get under. And now we've switched roles, okay? And notice I'm spending all my time attacking. He's spending all his time defending. But at any point, if he wants, he can switch to get under and start winning again. Okay, and then I have to crump. And there's a little nuance here about footwork, right? Andre's doing a really good basic version where he's not stepping at all. That's great. Just work out the mechanics of the blade work. But ultimately, if I'm attacking, I want to step on the same side I'm attacking from. Okay. And then if he actually attacks and gets under again, there we go. Notice then I'm going to switch my feet so I'm stepping away. Step away. Cool. All right, let's stop there. Give you a little bit of a break there. Also super important for these kind of drills, you get a lot of reps, right? So a couple things. When you get this many reps, make sure they're good reps, because if you're training bad reps, you're actually training bad technique for a lot of reps. And also take breaks, right? If you need to take a break, feel like just even doing something like this for like 2-3 minutes straight, that can be a lot. So definitely auto-regulate, take breaks as you need them. So that is the version there where one person is spending all the time doing the attack and all the time doing the defense, and then focusing on the transition of, hey, I'm playing defense, but I want to switch to being the attacker. How do I make that switch? There's a little bit of a footwork transition. I'm not going to go into those details, but you have this stuff on video, so you can try to sort of like tease that out. But this is where you can do these little switches in order to switch what foot is going with what side. So that's the version where we're actually doing what I call the blitz version. One person's always attacking, the other person's always defending. The other version is kind of the opposite of that, which is we're going to alternate. So I'm going to attack, defend, attack, defend, attack, defend. So if Andre starts with the Schiel, so he's going to hit here, and I'm going to crump it, right? Crump, and then I'm going to do a Schiel, and he's going to crump. Hands up, right? And then same thing in terms of switching. So when I do crump, instead of crumping, I'm going to crump. Oops, sorry, that was my bad. Here. Now we switch to the other side. All right. So what's nice is either person can be responsible for doing the switch. Right. So I just didn't. Oh, there we go. Right. Yep. And now actually now we switch back to the original version, but we don't have to, right? So right there. So even though things got a little bit less disciplined as we did it, it's actually a little bit of the benefit of this drill where you can really start opening up to doing a lot of different variations where you actually blend this blitz version with the attacker defender version. And then eventually start adding things like feints, failures, slices can actually happen in there. There's a whole sort of wealth of complexity from once you start adding more and more components, which is just one of the features of what we call these Frequens Motus class of drills that we've developed. So there's a ton of variety and opportunity in just exploring these and really kind of opening up, letting the opponent kind of do more and more things, just experiment with more and more things. So I think that's hopefully a really good introduction to this particular flavor of Frequens Motus drill, and we'll have more for you in the future, right? Until next time.